Hello parents, teachers, and students. I'm Dr. Ivan Khan, CEO of Khan's Tutorial. Welcome to our short video. We'll be talking about how to prevent summer learning loss during the summer months. So research, experts, PhDs, all of the leaders in higher education and elementary education agree that during the summer months of July, August, September, or June, July, August, the vast majority of American students, or globally, they actually lose the learning that they've gained throughout the year. This can happen in 1 to 2 months of learning loss that can happen every summer vacation. So this results in schools having to play catch up in the fall. So when your child goes back to school, they'll actually be spending 6 weeks often just reviewing the stuff that they forgot over the summer that they once learned the year before. So today's video is going to take us through how we can stay away from it, how we can use the summer to our benefit, and how we can stay ahead of our classmates. But a little bit more on the types of learning loss that can happen, whether it's in ELA or whether it's in math. So how bad can the learning loss be? So let's see. Third graders on average drop 20% in reading and 27% in math. So a lot of you know that third grade is a really important time because in New York State and so many other states, it's the first year of your state exams. I have 2 children myself, they're young, so I remember all the effort that went into ensuring that our daughter was ready for her state exams and taking advantage of any type of summer resources to ensure to prevent learning loss. And as you get older, once you reach 7th grade, and we have 250, 300 7th graders at Khan's Tutorial, the losses are even more amplified. You can have up to 36% loss in reading, up to 50% loss in math knowledge that you've gained, and the news does get worse. As you get older, the gap in the learning loss becomes even greater for those from upper income communities with some privilege and some great jobs, compared to lower income communities of maybe new immigrants, of those who've just gotten here, and those who are just starting out. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the types of learning loss that can happen. Besides the 30 and 50%, I'm going to talk a little bit about the types of learning loss. So summer learning, 76% of teachers say it's extremely important to practice skills over the summer. So when you survey teachers, 76% of them will agree that it's important that kids continue learning during summer. 90% of teachers also say that if you can keep kids learning over the summer, they'll be more successful in the long run. And when teachers were surveyed, 95% of teachers say if kids keep learning over the summer, they'll be more successful all the way throughout elementary school, middle school, and high school. The summer learning loss does get worse. It can be up to 84% for skills and knowledge that for grade level proficiencies, and it can even be 85% of teachers have reported they have to spend a lot of time to fix that during the fall. So what can we do together to prevent summer learning loss? As a parent, here's some tactics that I try with my own kids at home. First of all, I try building their literacy skills with index cards. Yes, old school index cards, 3x5. You can write, if they're younger, you can write down word definitions. You can write down multiplication tables. I've used them for fractions and decimals and geometry formulas with my kids, and we practice index cards. This can not only help you with your learning and cognitive skills, but can also help you with some writing skills as well. So always use your surroundings to start building both your literacy and your math. Next up, make time to read with your children. It's really tough because as parents, we're always feeling, I'm so busy, I don't have time for any time with my kids. As a working father, and I'm speaking on behalf of my wife as a working mother, sometimes the few moments we get with our kids is before bedtime. So whether it's reading with them, reading to them, that's shown to improve oral language, comprehension skills, and this has been proven time and time again by doctors and PhDs from fantastic Ivy League places like Cornell University and Harvard University. They've all done their research to show that if you read with your children, they're going to be improving in language, comprehension, reading, and more importantly, bonding with you, the parent. Next up, we got to use online resources. At Khan's, we have an online digital program that meets for writing, ELA, and math 3 times a week. And in 2 weeks, we'll also have an in-person component to develop new skills for students. So whether you're using free material like Khan Academy online, which is fantastic, no relation to us, or in person at Khan's tutorial, there's always things that parents can do. So let's talk about 2 more things parents can do. These are things that I've actually tried myself. As a parent, I'll just share that my daughter was not so much into reading. She loves drawing, she loves singing, she loves writing, and I was getting worried, like, oh my gosh, if my daughter does not enjoy reading so much, how can I get her skills to improve? So we actually got her a journal, we got her some topics to write about, and we asked her, hey dear, instead of reading 30 minutes a night, are you willing to write 30 minutes a night? And as a creative person, she was really, really into the exercise. She got some awards from her teacher for her writing contributions, and that became the gateway to her becoming really fond of reading now. So that writing helped gain her confidence in reading, and thank gosh, after being in cons for a few years, got some great report card news, invitations to Gifted and Talented, and good luck to Ariana out there. Next up, set aside time to review math topics. Don't forget to keep up with your child's math skills, whether it's math practice books or whether it's just incorporating math into everyday stuff. For example, I'll say, hey Ian, to my son, the backyard is 40 feet deep and 60 feet across. So if you have a 60 by 40 backyard, what's the perimeter of that yard? And he's going to say, oh, Dad, I don't know, don't stop lecturing me, Dad. But guess what? If you start incorporating these math things into everyday things, take them grocery shopping, give them a budget, say, hey, we only have $15 to spend on milk, bread, and some eggs and cereal. What's the total cost? So try to bring math into your daily life. And of course, practice books and workbooks do go a long way to keep that confidence up in math for what parents can do. Other items, there are a lot of educational items like Lego math games, tactile games, tactile with, where you're able to use a Rubik's Cube or a pyramid or some Legos to figure out. A lot of us learn using our hands, especially even topics like math. So buying a math workbook will help, and any other types of educational tools and games that can help your child discover their love for learning. So if you're in grades K through 5, you gotta wonder, will I get an opportunity to get in some gifted programs in my school? Good news is there's 2 types of gifted programs that they've announced in 2022. So this year's cycle is just wrapped up this month, but to stay ahead of next year's cycle, for K through 5 programs, we have existing programs for kids from K through 5, and students can enter these programs now in grade 1, grade 2, or grade 3. Also, there are top performing GNT programs, and there's 32 of these programs, and it's by invitation only in grade 3. So top performing grade 2 students, or the top 10%, are invited to apply. I've actually gone through this at in my own family. Once our daughter's report cards were really, really, thankfully strong, she got an invitation to take a GNT exam. Her mother and I got a workbook. We got busy for 2 weeks with her. She kept practicing, maybe a little bit less, and then of course she took the exam and things worked out. So good luck to all the students at Cons on their way to a fantastic GNT program. If you're in Cons Digital, you can take our advanced writing classes, our advanced ELA classes, and our advanced math. So let's move the conversation over to my other child, Ian. Ian's finishing up the 1st grade. We started 3rd grade here at Cons, but I think even though he's going to be learning next year's material 3 months early, we're trying to have him learn 3rd grade material 2 years early. So maybe finishing 1st grade, but we're trying to challenge him with some 3rd grade material. Good luck to Ian and anyone else out there who's interested in advancing at least one or skipping some grades along the way. In person, we have weekday options for Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. In math, all of these add up to having a really, really nice holistic program where your child does not experience any summer learning loss, and when they're back in school and in the fall, they're usually ahead of all their classmates. Let's move along to middle school. For those of you who want to get into New York City specialized high school, I'm talking about famous places like Stuyvesant High School, one of the best high schools in New York City, Bronx Science, or another best high school in New York City, Brooklyn Tech. We have teachers and leaders from everywhere at Conservatorial. So again, if you're a middle schooler and you're enrolled in our program and you want to go to Brooklyn Tech, which is one of the most popular and largest magnet high schools across the country, you will need 3 scores above a 78. 3 scores above a 78 to get into Brooklyn Tech. If you want to get into Bronx Science, you need 3 scores of an 83 to have a strong prediction of your child getting into Bronx Science. If you want to get into Stuyvesant High School in Lower Manhattan and enjoy that amazing campus in the financial district right off the Hudson River, you have to score 3 scores of 88. So at Cons, we'll be spending the whole summer retaking diagnostics every single Friday for workshops, or at least many of them. And we'll even start getting some of the earlier diagnostic material into the summer boot camps for specialized high schools. So as you see, we have both in-person and digital options for, over here we have in-person options for either boot camp, which is throughout the week, or in-person flyers for workshop, which is for the more advanced level by Fridays. So whatever your performance level is during the summer, we got you covered Tuesday to Thursday or the advanced Friday workshops. Finally, we've reached high school. The biggest challenge now is, oh my gosh, how am I going to get into college? How am I going to get into college? And so many students, I feel so, I empathize because they're just so worried about it. But if you're going to a good high school and you're getting some good support from your mom and dad at home, or your 2 teachers and tutors at Cons and just at school, chances are you've been building your academic portfolio to apply to one of these fantastic places. So if you're interested, or you've always dreamed of going to a place like Harvard, Columbia, Brown University, or UPenn, University of Pennsylvania, we have a lot of students taking our summer weekday elite classes, and it's actually led by a teacher from Columbia University. So our teachers here are from Columbia University, Cornell University, and Princeton University this summer, and they've all reached these 1570s and 1580s and 1590s that you see on the screen on the way to a fantastic seat, not only for our instructors, but for your child. Now let's move it along to some of the more commonly applied places that are in the private sphere. NYU is a place that will still require a minimum of 1,500 for their 75 percentile cutoffs for the SATs. Georgetown will require at least a 1470. Tufts University, one of the top universities in Boston, fantastic for general studies, pre-med, pre-health, pre-law, almost everything. And Northeastern University, one of my favorite universities in Boston, because of their built-in internship programs. You're pretty much guaranteed to have at least 2 to 3 internships with great professional companies all the way until you graduate college. So no matter what age group you are, you always got to remember the summertime is a fantastic opportunity to build your skill set, build your abilities academically, and absolutely avoid any type of learning loss. For those of you in high school, take a look at some of the options. You have a weekday option, either in person or digitally. And we also have a weekend option for those of you who are doing internships and volunteer work throughout the week. We have a weekend option that works well for a lot of our kids here too. So before we leave, just wanted to reiterate, always remember, if you're a parent and you're a student, always remember this is a collaborative effort. Chat with your family, chat with your mom, dad, son, daughter, and figure out what's our next goal academically. Where do we really want to be 1 to 2 years from now? Where do we want to be when we graduate? Do we want to go to that great top high school or a not so much one? Those are decisions that are personal to you and the family. We wish you the very best in your journey and can't wait to see you all at Conservatorial for those of you who come pay us a visit.